Recording in progress.
All right, y'all. Stripes and Coffee back at it, week 2. We did not have last week go as we had planned. But yeah, I guess introductions, So Who Dale here. We got Calladay, and he's there at the bottom. Say hi,
Hooday.
Calladay. Who Day
Hooday.
and
Yes,
AJ
sir.
Who Day.
Yeah. I got this, the water bottle.
Yeah,
Tell me.
I forgot my jerseys
Yeah.
at home.
yeah. You don't got your jersey, and then she just got off work, so she didn't get a chance to get swagged out anyway or whatever. But and then your jersey's here, nuts. Well,
Here,
you're
you
kind
can pull it out of the closet. That's what I
of
would.
yeah, here it is. But yeah, I don't, like I said, want to dwell too much on this past game because it's in the past. It sucked. Don't really want to think about it much. And I don't think that's what we're going to see moving forward. But we'll just kind of go round robin and just get some fan therapy going because just get it off our chest and move forward. So um we will start with you, AJ Houday. See what you have to say.
About last week. Ooh. Not a lot of. I mean, the defense did great. I said this before, but they were like a shining diamond in a pile of crap. And that was the rest of the game. Defense looked great. Offense did not. But I mean, not too worried about it. We tend to play like that versus the Browns. And I've seen a lot of people kind of bring up the point that it's even more than just our offense doing bad, is the Browns defense doing really good. So it was not fun to watch, but I'm not stressed for the long term. Joe will not play like that again. That was, he needs those
No,
reps,
I
but he
totally
got
agree.
them there. Mhm.
Yep. You're not going to have too many games like that from him. So I do agree with that. What do you think, Calladay?
Yeah, I agree. He can't play any worse, so he can only go up from here. You
Yeah.
know, and it's another division game, so he gotta play better this time for sure.
Hmm.
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah, we got to up the game. We can't. I mean, we started 0-2 last year. It wasn't 2 divisional games, but that would be really rough to drop 2 to the division right off the bat. Then we really would be playing catch up in the North. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't love that. So yeah, I agree with you that it's about as close as I guess you could have a must-win game for this the second game of the year. It's not must win, but dang, we really could use it. So, but anything else you saw from the game or whatever, or any takeaways, or just kind of ready to just
Forget about it.
myself of the
yeah. I'm trying to forget it. I'm honestly trying to forget it.
I
It
yeah.
was
wish I
that
could get
bad.
it.
Mhm. Um, yeah, in my thoughts, it is as bad as we would see Joe Burrow play. And the sad part about it, though, we've seen Andy Dalton do worse. Um, so not that that's saying much, but that was a really bad game from him. And uh, some of the people I follow on Twitter, one kind of refreshing thing is after they kind of looked at the tape or whatever, their thoughts were that the biggest reason we lost is because Joe stunk, which obviously that seems like it sucks and it does, but Joe is not going to stink that bad very often. So, if other things were doing well, I didn't think, the T, had several targets and, it just didn't seem like he was just, they weren't in sync, So what, I don't know if it was T. I don't know if it was Joe Burrow. But a couple good points I heard that made a lot of sense to me. Joe Burrow obviously hurt, didn't get the practice and get in sync with his receivers. They didn't really get a good backup situation going. So how good a work did the receivers get? When they got quarterbacks that are struggling to even get them the ball, did they really even get good practice?
Hmm.
That made
That's
a
a
lot of
good
sense.
point.
Yeah. So um, this team just seems to be not. They need some time to kind of get in sync and get things going. So I think that just like we've already said, the perfect storm. We go up against the Browns, who seem to have our number. We go up against an elite pass rusher and Myles Garrett. Um, and Denzel Ward, always does a great job against us. And they have added pieces on the D line and sticky secondary, and then it rained. Maybe our weakness is water, maybe that's the kryptonite. I don't know. But all that piled up to just make a really bad performance. The D overall I thought was really good. Secondary I thought was very good. The defensive line looked very good. I thought run, even though it looked bad in the numbers when you look back at it, I think they just blew up a couple big plays. We kind of blew the coverage on the run defense there on like a couple plays, and we let Deshaun kind of run out. Maybe they just forgot he is a mobile quarterback. So we don't tend to let like Lamar Jackson do that to us. We haven't the last few times anyway. So you take those out, it seems like we did stuff a lot of the runs. So I'm not too concerned with that either. So we're going to write this off as early season woes. Joe just not being himself, not being in sync with his receivers, and just kind of the Browns having our number or whatever. I don't expect to see that again this week. So, you guys feel better now? I mean,
Yeah, it's
I had some time to let it kind of sink over, so I didn't feel as bad anyway. But talk it through and just kind of get our fan therapy out. And
yeah. My therapy last week was take a shower and have some beer.
Oh, let me just watch this gross game off. That's funny. So
that mental health is real.
Oh man, yeah. I needed to like call a telehealth line and like the Bengals really played awful, but
thanks. It was bad.
But Ravens, week 2, Lamar Jackson, new offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator that is done pretty good after we got the other guy fired in 2021. I forget that guy's name. But this Williams, I think Mike Williams is his name. He's thrown a lot out there. It seems that just had a good game plan, the past couple years. So I can go ahead and just put some of my thoughts out there first, if you want, to give you guys something to feed on. But it looks like they have a couple starters out on their offensive line. So Tyler Linderbaum and Ronnie Staley. Oh man, we're ending in 10 minutes. Maybe because I started it, that counts the 40 minutes. So bummer. So yeah, but we'll get this wrapped up in 10 minutes. It ain't going to take that. So yeah, they're missing 2 starters on the offensive line. Marlon Humphreys doesn't look like he's going to play. He was out Wednesday, and that's usually kind of a telltale that they're not going to play because he didn't practice and it didn't really look good for him to be there. And I think they got another safety that's pretty well respected, Williams, like a Mike Williams. I don't know if that rings a bell. I'm not really too sure on that name, but yeah, they're missing some of the key pieces on their offensive line, a couple key pieces on the defensive side. They got a really good defense and defensive line, but they don't have that elite guy that just wrecks the game. So they got Roquan Smith. So if they want to do something, so if they want to like rush with him, by all means, go ahead and blitz Burrow if you want, in my opinion. But this could be one of them games that is set up for the offense to possibly feast. I don't know if we will. I don't know if we'll be back up to normal, whatever. Hell, this is probably going to be a 20-17 type of game. We know what the AFC North games tend to look like. So the past few years, what it seems to be is we have been knocking the socks off of them on a couple games, Steelers a couple or whatever, or it's just that slobber knocker 17-20 type game.
Or it's last week.
Or yeah, that one, that was the beat down, I guess. Every now and then it goes the other way. Now with Jackson, they got Zay Flowers. That guy looked pretty good. The guy they just drafted. They've not done well with drafting receivers, but he looked pretty legit. Odell, no show. I'm not worried about him. He's washed, in my opinion. We'll see how Lamar does, trying to be this pure pocket passer. Evidently, the stat was that when he was kept clean and like a true pocket pass with no pressure, he was great. When he got any pressure, though, that's where, trying to be that pocket passer while under pressure, now when he's like being elite, Lamar Jackson running around and doing his thing, I kind of think they should, maybe they'll lean on that some, knowing that that's his skill set. But I know the whole reason they got this guy was to have him airing it out and being like a true pocket passer type guy. They should have Mark Andrews back, as far as it sounded like he was going to play. So He is a safety valve for them, and we'll see if that makes a difference. Tight ends have always kind of given us trouble, but lately, with this new linebacker core, it seems like we do a lot better with their tight ends, in general, So those are some of my quick thoughts. I really think that the game will come down to the trenches. I think that will be the biggest thing. Our D line was looking great, and they have a beat up O line, so we need to be licking our chops there.
Yeah.
They will probably have a really good defensive game plan, like I said, but beat up secondary, and we it's time to feast. So, like I said, that's just a recap of everything I said there. But what do you think, AJ Houday?
I think that's all that's a pretty good summary of everything. I guess I'd say for us this would be, a good chance to come back. Like, last week not great, but so come out, play well against a division rival, be 1-1, be ready to almost start the season fresh. It's just like we're actually 1-0 now. Last week didn't count. Just kind of forget that happened,
Yeah,
wipe the team, so to
exactly.
speak,
It's
and
on the record sheet, so we got to take our
no,
black eye. But yeah, just move on. This is week one.
mindset wise, this
Mhm.
is week 1 now.
Yep,
Mhm.
and I do feel like Joe Burrow does a pretty good job of that, of compartmentalizing, in the now and focusing on what's important now. Don't let that, get him too up or down or whatever it may be. So,
And I think that's
Mhm.
important this week, to kind of, let's play like we know we can go out there and be, we played in the championship game last year, so let's go out there and play like we did that, and
yeah, and we're at home too. I think that'll help. So,
I think that'll help
That's
a lot.
huge. Yeah.
mhm.
hmm
Now, what about you, Calladay? Got anything to kind of throw out there? Or
Yeah. Like the piggyback off you said, I think with the corners, for me, it's the corners being up for Baltimore. I feel like Chase and Higgins can make up for the games that they have in Cleveland,
Mhm.
especially Chase. I don't know if you see the post game interview after the Browns game. He was talking about the whole L thing.
oh
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
he's taking it personal. He see Jefferson going off, all these other receivers. It's just time, man.
yeah.
It's his time. I expect a big game from Chase. I'm not gonna lie, because he usually does torch the Ravens secondary too. So I
Yeah,
expect
he's
that to be a
torched them
big
up
game.
with Marlon Humphreys. So,
Yeah,
uh,
with Marlon, and when they had Marcus Peters too.
and
Yeah,
Marcus Peters. Yep. So, um, I don't think that their D line is as probably as good as last year. So if they don't get that
I
rush,
agree.
God help them. The way I see what we can do, we now that's still got to come to pass. We could very well go out
Have
there.
to execute.
Yeah, you still have to execute it, but the path is there for us to do exactly what you said. For Chase to have a big game, Higgins have a big game, hell, Boyd have a big game. Any of these guys, we've got the people out there. It's just if we can hold up in protection, I think the O line's going to do much better. That was a
Yeah,
bad week one in the rain. They haven't really played together much yet. Like with some of the new pieces, with Orlando Brown Jr. and Jonah going to right tackle, and then they had to deal with the retooled defensive line that the Browns had and all that. I think they're primed to be great, but like we
yeah,
said, trying to let that be in the past. But this isn't the same beast that we're tackling, So yeah, I think that trench play will kind of dictate whether we can torch their secondary. So as long as they give him his 3.5 seconds, he's going to
three
find
and
it.
a half. That's
Mhm.
it. That's all you're
We
gonna need.
Yeah, we just need 90% Joe or 80% Joe, like even if he's not the full form, like, postseason Joe and killer mindset Joe, if he's pretty close, we can still win this game. Um,
hmm
I'm still kind of expecting it to be kind of, one of them 17, 20 games, but it could be, or it could be one of them 30 plus games, the path is there for sure.
Yeah.
So,
I
um,
think one thing that I'm looking forward to it, and maybe this will help, is that AJ Green is going to be there
oh
as
yeah,
our
the ruler of the jungle, man.
also the Ravens
Yeah,
killer. So maybe that'll go in our
Yeah,
favor.
we can't lose when he's freaking ruler of the jungle, man. And I think
that's
he
true.
signed like a 1-day contract to retire a Bengal.
Yeah,
So
so we have to
I
do it for
saw that.
him.
yeah,
Got
we
to.
got
Thanks.
we got to win it for AJ, man. Class act, great guy. Love that guy. So let's do it for AJ if nothing else, right?
And he'll be there to send over the Ravens killing energy.
Yep. So Chase for 200. Is that what we're thinking?
Yes.
Mhm.
200
Yes.
and three
Absolutely.
TDs. All right.
At least 200. At least 200.
At
Yes.
least.
At least. Easy.
We
Chase
might
ran
hit
for
300.
received for 700 yards. What?
That'd be
Got
insane.
to.
Oh my God. I've never seen the
He
likes
just
of it.
never
But
stopped. He never dropped it. He just held it the whole time and ran around.
yeah. But all right. I'm excited. I'm ready to get our first dub. I think we do it. I think we pull this out, man. It's we're not going to see them play. They're not that bad of a team. It just, that was what it was. And then this is a new week, and I really think that we're gonna pull it through. So
Yeah. As long as we don't leave it up to a field goal. Don't want Justin Tucker out there.
yeah, then he'll make some record 70-yard kick or something, and yeah,
Mhm.
let's not leave it up to that. Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you got any parting notes?
Who day?
Who day?
Who they for sure. What do you think about the Lyle Collins? Let him go.
Maybe his injury is. I didn't really read up on it too much, but maybe his injury was a little worse than they thought. Either that
Yeah.
or they're planning to make a move. I don't know, or just
Just
T
cut
didn't seem like
ties
he
with
wanted
him.
to negotiate, during the season. So I don't know. I thought he was an excellent depth piece down the road, but
Yeah, me too.
it's a little different. But all right, I guess it's getting ready to end, so I'm going to stop the recording. And Houday, we out.